All right, let's go, man.
Mario, what's up, man? On your turf.
Welcome to Miami.
I'm glad to be here. Casa Cuba.
Sakua.
But before we go in, this is your...
The right spot. We're about to do the right thing. Let's get some cafecito.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Buenos días todo el mundo. ¿Cómo están? Por favor, un par de cafecitos. Here we go, buddy. You ready for this?
I love this stuff.
All
Two
right,
of my favorite things, cafe, sweet. Put it together.
Yeah, you're in the right spot, brother.
How many are you supposed to drink a day? When I was here to do the show, I probably had like a half dozen before noon.
Well, I think you're on the right track. Sí, está bien. Si tienen tacita también sería perfecto, por favor. How many of these a day? Wow, depends what time you get up and
How
what
many
time
do
you
you
want to go to bed. Throughout the day, I don't count. You know what? I actually, as a kid, you didn't love the flavor, so they put in milk. They make a café con leche. It's good for breakfast, and then as you grow older, you're like, man, it's all right, you know? Forget those energy drinks. You got it right here. So, and it goes down well with just about everything. So, yeah, throughout the course of the day, you'll have these. And if you travel around here, any construction site, people out working, you will see the little tacitas of la colada. La colada is like the cup of all the shots, right? And the little cups, you'll see cups all over the place because people all day are fueling up.
It's 100 degrees right now, but still.
It's like a winter's day, man. What are you talking about, you know? It's perfect for some nice hot coffee, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? It's a small amount. It goes down fast. It goes down smooth. You see she's making it nice and fresh for us. She's an artist. Look at this, you know? Look at that. Tremendous skill, efficiency, you know?
Everything you'd like in a player. Skill, efficiency.
There's no false steps, you know, no stumbles. No one falls down. No fumbles at all. This is really, really good. But yeah, this will start us off the right way. You might want to take one of these coffee makers and a few packs of coffee and some grounds back home with you.
I think I'm going to.
I mean, if you really want to amp up the organization and get them to optimal levels, you want
only the best ingredients, right?
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. It should be all legal.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah. There we go. Look at that, man. Oh, outstanding. All right.
Ah, here it
Perfecto,
comes. That's
señora. Muchas
beautiful.
gracias.
Yeah.
Muy especial. Dios te bendiga. All right,
Cheers,
brother.
man.
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's
Trying
do
it right. Oh, yeah.
Delicious.
Way to do it. You know this.
We shoot it?
It's all
Here we
good.
go. I'm not
There
leaving.
you go.
I'm not leaving it dry.
He's going to become an addict, I'm telling you.
Awesome. I think it's too late for that. Thank you. Gracias. Thank you.
Gracias.
Let's go eat, man.
Let's do it, brother.
Let's do it.
Good spot right here. After you, man. You're the guest.
Thank you. What do you like about this place, particularly this restaurant, this neighborhood?
The heritage that comes with it. I mean, a lot of the dishes that they serve are the kind of things I grew up eating, you know, not that I liked it back then, but somehow, some way, it all comes full circle, right? All of a sudden you find yourself craving eggs sunny side up and white rice and black beans and ground beef on a Friday night, which you used to hate as a kid, but they do it right. Everything's authentic. The people are incredibly just pleasant. And you know what? Also, it's an opportunity for me to actually speak Spanish. Because even though I was born and raised speaking Spanish, as I traveled across from a career standpoint, I mean, Coach Saban was not going to have a conversation in Spanish with me anytime soon, right? And then going even further west, that diminished even more. So always the opportunity to come out and, you know, share a little bit with the locals and get back into the roots is always awesome.
One of the things people say about college football now is that place doesn't matter the way it used to. This is an exception here. Why does this place matter so much to you?
Look, I like to say a lot that I owe Miami. I mean, you know, you look at, let's just take, for example, historically, 3 different coaches that won a national title here, right? 3 or 4. This place draws and attracts people that are really of a high achieving mentality and that are really okay, really cool with being part of a melting pot. Because look at this city. This is a melting pot of the world. So when you walk in our locker room, it's a direct reflection. We come in every size, shape, color, ethnicity, right? Language. And look, and I remember walking in there and I, like a bunch of those other guys and some that are have gone as far to be Hall of Famers in the NFL and whatnot. You know, we were all young and, you know, sometimes knuckleheads or whatnot. And those coaches and the administration and the university in general, they got us right. They showed us a path. They showed us a way to better ourselves, increase our value to the community, to become better future fathers and whatnot. And so I'm of the mindset that I owe the University of Miami. My brother and I, with our, you know, our humble, modest backgrounds and beginnings, man, this place changed us. And it wasn't just a championships, mind you, that's the best thing in the world. You know what I mean? Oh yeah.
Look at this.
Keep
What do we got here?
Beautiful.
Oh,
Picadillo caballo.
You didn't think I could handle the eggs?
Oh, you can do it. I can do that too.
What do we got here?
Beef. Just made, you know, with a lot of onions and a lot of other stuff. Look, man, don't take a body fat later this week, and certainly don't get on the scale. All right. That's not gonna help you right there.
Well, it hasn't been a good look for a while anyways.
Bon appetit, man. Que Dios te bendiga. A comer.
That's delicious.
See? I'm going to make you a fan before you leave, man. The rice is going to get here, I'm sure, in a minute, the rice and beans. But yeah, I feel like I owe Miami. It taught us everything. It taught us how to compete. You walked in the door absolutely terrified of the competition because the level of athlete that was here, the level of fierce competitor, just really physically violent players, you know, on the field, off the field, awesome guys. But it was intimidating. And after a couple of weeks of being in the system and getting knocked around, you learn the magic, the secret sauce of what that brotherhood is like. These guys take you in and they show you the ropes, man. You know, how to establish routines, how to go about your dailies as it relates to school, as it relates to your family, community, becoming that brother, that teammate that everyone could depend upon. And it's the best time of my life. Really was. You know, obviously aside from the birth of your children and then you get married. I mean, being a Miami Hurricane, it's unmatched. And you find yourself your entire life searching for that feeling again. And look, when you coach, you could coach out in the middle of nowhere. And coaching is coaching. It's a vocation. You love it, and you love the people that you get to coach. It's an honor. It's a privilege. Dale caballo. Tostones, you love those plantains. Smash right up. Arroz blanco, para los maduros, por favor, los platanitos. Perfecto. Jefe, ¿tienen arroz? ¿Tienen los frijoles también? Perfecto.
My 2 years of high school Spanish, 1 year of college Spanish, not helping me much
Let's
right
hear
now.
your Spanish. Let's hear what you got.
It's, no bueno.
No
It's
bueno?
Not very good.
There we go. Oh,
The
my
food is muy
Lord.
bueno.
Muy bueno? Who's your Spanish teacher? We got to give him a call. Oh, my
It's a long
Lord.
time ago, Mario. Longer than I want to admit.
You know, you're more than welcome to send any family members down here for a quick sabbatical to learn some Spanish. You'll like these. Go to it.
Are those the plantains?
You got the plantains over there. These are tostones. So these are like smashed and fried. Little mojo criollo. That's like sour oranges and some other things. That's good dipping sauce.
Awesome. Take that.
Very low calorie.
I'm sure.
You know, there's a reason growing up, all the Cuban kids were playing O-line and D-line, mostly O-line, you know. We tend to get a little bit heavy, maybe not always in the best places, you know.
There's a map of Cuba
Yeah, I never
over our
been, man.
shoulders. And you won't go, right? Didn't I read that you and your brother said?
Yeah, it's a
Said no?
sore subject, you know. It's a sore subject, but you know, families. I mean, that was their everything, and they lost everything as well. And remember that takeover and the Castro regime? That changed everything, and also created an entirely new Miami. If you look at this city and the way it was built, you know, the Cuban American and the original Cuban first generation influence was insanely powerful, strong. And I kind of want to go. Especially fish those waters, man. There's gonna be some great fishing over there, but out of respect to my parents, I just won't do it right now. And so there's drastic change over there, and you know, I look forward to hopefully one day maybe having a football camp over there and bring it to. And actually, if you look historically, University of Miami actually played the University of Havana. I forget the year. Okay, hopefully Miami won.
And
know what I mean?
I remember seeing that one of the old list of, former opponents. You have the whole list of everybody Miami's played
How about that?
forever.
Who would have thought, right?
Yeah.
So it's again, man, football to me, football is an agent of change. right? And we need more people and more things that are great for young people and development. And I can't think of a better vehicle than football. And so we're stewards of the game. We're supposed to make the game better and help make our futures and our societies better. Maybe there's a path to that one day, but for right now, not happening.
Your parents didn't want you to play football, though, initially, right? You or your brother?
Well, they didn't know football. I think till our last game, they still were trying to figure out what a third down was and what a touchdown was. They were incredibly supportive. They never interfered once. This is what I love about them. And I take the train of thought, but never once did they ever pick up a phone, call a football coach. Never showed up to a practice and try to ask about playing time or whatnot. It was shut your face, go work and get it done. And I don't want to hear squat, in different words in Spanish with some expletives in there, but, and I thought that their best times of their life here in the States was the pageantry, the camaraderie of traveling with the other parents to all of those, some of them iconic games around the country, hopping in the station wagon, the family truckster, right? Like back in the day with the Griswolds, and just going, man, and bringing a lot of these dishes with them, and how so many of the players, so many of my teammates would like rush out to their area and just devour the empanadas, croquetas, all that stuff. And, they were able to be a big part of the journey with my brother and I.
How much importance do you place on passing that tradition down, carrying that on with your immediate family, with your sons, and then also exposing your players to it, what it was like?
Probably not a lot. In terms of the Cuban heritage side, not much at all. And I'll tell you why is my sons were born, they were extremely young when we left FIU and went to Alabama. And the next time we find a Spanish tutor there will be the first time we find a Spanish tutor there. Okay. And, the hours that you work as a coach, by the time you get home, the few minutes you have with your sons, if you start trying to speak Spanish, you're going to think you're an alien and you'll never have a connection with them. So I didn't do a very good job. There. And then we went off to Oregon and in kind of the same, situation. And I didn't do a good enough job teaching them. They probably learned the words they shouldn't be saying.
Yeah.
And some other stuff. And they're learning, they're getting better at it. My wife does an unbelievable job, with them, having to, getting them to understand some things. But it's, I'll introduce some of the food. I've never just said, hey, take this in. And I just, I don't know. I feel like we spend all our time trying to make them better and engage and connect, and haven't really brought enough of this aspect to it.
But your son's playing ball where you played high school ball, right?
I used to feed all the receivers this stuff. Actually.
Yeah. You get to watch him play, watch him practice.
He's going to be a junior now, so it works out. Thursday is one of our lighter days, if there is such a thing. Their games were mostly on Thursday, so I used to be able to get out there and watch them both play. And we always try to, when our coaches' sons are playing, we always try to accommodate that, whether we have to start earlier, whether we have to adjust. Those are such unbelievable moments, you know? And I don't know what it's like. My dad never, it was never involved, man. I didn't know ball, but it means a lot to our guys. And fortunately, I've been able to go out there and watch some moments. Saw his first touchdown catch. My younger one saw his first catch as well. He's working on that touchdown this year, but they're part of a great organization, great coaches. And the best part, they understand that they have to go earn everything that they want to achieve, and that I will never, ever push them to play football. I will push them to be the best they can be at something, but they happen to love football, and thank God for that, right?
I've read that, and you mentioned it just then, that your dad, shut up, go to work hard. He was tough on you. Described him as a really tough guy. No. How do you compare the toughness your dad showed you, the toughness you show your sons?
Oh, on par.
Yeah.
The only difference was that I'm in football, so there's some carryover there where I could actually help them.
Yeah. Yes.
But I'm a big believer in it, and it's not to be called a tough guy or to be thought of a certain way. It's just like, the world is tough, right? It's very unforgiving. the job market is very challenging, and so is the economy. And there's going to be points in life where you're going to have to buckle up, suck it up, and just get it done. You know, you're a young man, you're going to be a grown man one day, and no matter what's going on in your life, you are responsible and obligated to be there and perform for others and whatever it may be. So nothing could get in the way of that. And therefore, you know, that's maybe one of the biggest principles that we have. Nothing ever gets in the way of us being 1-0. And so, yeah, a lot of similarities.
How do you think you are perceived differently as a head coach after last season, after what you guys accomplished? I mean, you're 2 plays, a drive, a throw away from winning the national championship. How do you think that impacted the way you were perceived?
Well, I think everyone always recognized what Miami can be, but it's just been a long time. It's been 20 plus years, right? A couple of decades. And I think there was something where, I don't know if everybody wanted Miami to started having success again, because when Miami gets rolling, it's really hard to stop. Really, you yourself are the only person that can stop it, right? As an organization. So I think that, I think it's been brewing. You know, if you look at the 3-4 year track, it's been consistent improvement. The trajectory's been steadily going up. And I think last year was a major breakthrough. I thought there was a breakthrough in 24. We didn't accomplish the goal of getting in the playoffs, the postseason. But we did in 25 and then capitalize on most of the opportunities. I think it does. The perspective now is different. Miami's thought of in a different manner. And I think a lot of the closet Hurricane fans have come out of the woodwork. It's the national appeal is insanely strong. What I love most about it, honestly, is the way this community just lit up. I mean, I'm Miami through and through, brother. And not the fancy Miami that you get to see on TV and whatnot. I grew up during the Scarface era. A little bit different, you know. But what I would say is that the energy that it creates, the togetherness that it creates in this community, the way it changes lives. And our guys are now like the faces of the community, you know, and they're so engaged and so involved that it's a momentum that builds upon itself. And I guess the best way to think about it is we're kind of just getting started, but we want to truly elevate this and take it to the next level.
A couple of things you said there that I want to touch on. First, let's start there. What's an example of the way the community lights up, the way your guys have become a part of it, that sort of goes beyond, well, I chose to go to school, play football here, and I'm trying to go to the NFL, or maybe, you know, I like my NIL deal, or whatever it is. What is it that you've seen that sort of is beyond that?
Well, I'll start with this. The alumni reunion had about 400 alumni at it. I mean, we should have handed out pads and a helmet and had a scrimmage, because these are dudes, you know what I mean? And dudes that love to talk smack, by the way, you know, so they want us always winning so they can talk smack. But it's not only at a reunion, they actually sit and have dinner with our players and they share. And their pride was just oozing out of them. And so was their intensity and their energy. Our players loved it. Our guest speakers are primarily our alum, you know. Greg Olson, Ray Lewis will come back. John Vilma, phenomenal, you know, and they hit you right between the eyes, like hands-on the field guys that did it. And they'll tell the guys the secret's out there in the dirt. So these guys have made it a very personal quest to become legitimate Miami Hurricanes and leave a legacy as such. The other day, Malachi Tony, Mark Fletcher, they go and do a community service event. Man, it is a mob scene, you know. All the dudes this high, this tall, just like when they were this tall, just rushing them, autograph, picture. The impact that they have is tangible, and it's enormous. When we got here, okay, when I grew up, let me go all the way back. When I grew up, if you rounded up a group of kids, say, who here is a Miami Hurricane fan? You'll have every hand go up. We get here in 22, and we went to the parks and had an event, and we asked the same question. Not a ton of hands were going up. And that's, you know, I'm looking around going, well, here's the problem. We've lost touch with our grassroots efforts that, as always, Howard Schnellenberger, right, the way he dove into the community, right, Jimmy Johnson, right, Coach Erickson, Coach Davis. So Malachi Tony, You've seen that picture with him and Coach Rick, right? You know, like those things really, really matter. Well, now when Ruben Bain could be off in training with a trainer out in Tampa, but instead he's here training with our guys. Well, now he's the new alum, right? He's the one over there getting after Damon Wilson's butt about stance, get off, playing with power. You know, Keontae Scott, who came in as a transfer, but is a full-blooded, diehard Miami Hurricane, all over the DBs about physicality, about extra meeting time, whatever it takes to win. So between the alum, between our just presence in the community, they saw what they hadn't seen since they got here. We're about to head out to a playoff game, and Coral Gables Tech Center is mobbed with people. The Miami energy of what I got to see, they were experiencing it, the support. So I'm sitting there on the bus looking at it going, it's great. And it's different.
The other thing that I noticed when I asked you how to change the perception of you, you didn't say anything about you. You talked about the players, you talked about Miami, you talked about the community. How has it been different for you? Because coaches who do what you did, get to the national championship game, the perception of them and the stature, the status in the game changes. So has it for you?
Oh, I couldn't care any less about that kind of stuff.
I suppose that would be your answer.
Yeah,
but still.
I honestly, look, I've never played a down of football or coached down of football for any type of personal attention, accolade. I mean, you think about what we've done in our careers, and I say we because I am part of a team, but we went, took a job in Miami as a GA when Miami was 5-7 coming off probation. Part of a rebuild, national champion 4 years later. Took a job at Rutgers, 1-11. Great stories there. That's for another day, right?
Yeah.
A few years later, it's a 10-2 team. Go to FIU. They had, where do you start
They
there?
barely had pads when you got there, didn't they?
0-25, and our first ever and only conference championship. Alabama was set, but sustaining and elevating that model was a tremendous learning lesson. And also the advances, right? The evolving of college football and Coach Saban and the way that he structured the staff, allowed me to learn a lot. Oregon, 4-8 team, right? 2 years later, 12-2, Rose Bowl, top 5 team. So they've all been rebuilds, and when you take on rebuilds, I'll say this, you got to have guts, and you got to be aligned with people that have guts as well, because it's not pretty, right? Because when you get there, it's like, oh, here it is, salvation. Here it is, wave the magic wands. And every place has its issues, and they're all different, but you got to really get deep into the dirt, and you have to go through some really painful steps that you can't skip. So if you're worried about attention and glory and how great you are, don't even attempt to rebuild, and don't align yourself with people. And since that's what we've done for 4 out of the 5 stops, I really don't waste any time thinking about anything except what's the next step to continue to elevate our programs.
Doesn't Nick owe you something? Does he owe you a car?
Look, that guy owes me a lot. I won't get into it because he moves the goalposts all the time, but I'm sure he's either getting his eyebrows trimmed or his hair dyed right now or makeup put on. So, I with a lot of pride say I'm not one of his stepchildren, that he takes care of and houses or whatnot. I'm not one of them. I'm not part of the club. So, I'll deal with Coach later. You just make sure you tell him our practices are a lot tougher and a lot more challenging than his practices. Okay.
He won't believe it, but is it true? Why? Why is your practice tougher than his?
I shouldn't say that because then it sounds like I'm boasting or whatnot. But he the other day I had a chance to get him on the phone and discuss camp practices and why the subtle changes from practice 3 to 5, from 5 to 8, as it relates to work with the trenches, right? Because unbelievable grit. That's what I love most about my time at Alabama. I love the the structuring of the year as it relates to the player and the repetition and the kind of repetition, the quality and caliber of it, as well as the fight against human nature. And so that's why I was picking his brain. I'm sure he was annoyed, but that's all right. He needs that. About why we would transition from a 5-on-4 to a 2-on-2 to a 9-on-9 on specific dates, and how it tied into the rest of practice and the rep count and all. I know it's boring stuff, but it's
really.
fascinating stuff for me.
Yeah.
And so, no, but he, yeah, I would never brag about what's tougher or what's whatnot. I would bust his chops on national TV, and I hope I get that opportunity every week.
I think you will. You've shown a willingness to do that.
I mean, the thing is, the way everybody else praises him, you're going to have to surgically remove people from his butt because they got his nose so far up there, I'm not going to do that, coach, sorry. But, and you know what, the other thing too, down here, these are Dolphin fans. Like, I saved his life because the Dolphin fans want to kill him. Okay. Is that not right? And I always say with this, tell me, does this not sound like
I've got to defend him a little bit. I mean, if you're an NFL quarterback, you're a good player, but I mean, he was dealing, I started to call a name I'm not going to, it's not fair. He was dealing with some quarterback issues.
Yeah, you're on the payroll for him too.
Okay, all right.
But does this not sound like, hey man, why are they speaking Spanish, man? What are they saying about me? No, I'm kidding. You know what? Whenever we brought him down here, he was actually very, he was loved by the people, and he always took time to come with me and my driving skills, behind it, to stop at the different high schools and visit the players. We recruit a lot of great players from down here, and along the way, this was really neat. Is every opportunity in the car with him was an opportunity to pick his brain, and he would never hesitate to impart knowledge and instruction and guidance. So, eternally grateful for him, and now we just bust each other's chops about this, name it, from a play call to a fourth down call. You wanted me to do a trick play on fourth down or something instead of running the ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's changed.
Yeah,
too much eyebrow trimming.
Yeah, he actually loves the fact that you give it back to him, though. What is the complacency that you're fighting right now based on your success? Because it can go another way. You can say one more step, and that can be a motivating factor. When were you at Alabama? What year?
I was there for the 13 season, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Okay. All right. So I was just thinking,
six.
Yeah.
Kick 6 years.
Yeah. I was just thinking about the motivation sometimes of coming up short.
Right.
As opposed to, wow, we've had success, and that's what it looks like. And there are new guys who feel grandfathered into success. What's first on your mind in dealing with that mindset among your players to fight that complacency?
Honestly, it was on my mind walking to the locker room, after as that game ended. It was the matter of, a lot of people tend to fall in that mindset just because you were there, you don't automatically start there the next year. A lot of people feel that way because all they're going to be watching all offseason are the highlights, the big plays. And you know what? I like to look at the other stuff about what could have not been if, the ball would have bounced the other way. We would have made a play here and there. But I guess it's as simple as this. Instead of one particular aspect of complacency, I think you're just full throttle on it right away. Like, you don't even wait for it to show its, to rear its head, to show its face. You just got to go at every aspect. And really, it starts with the way that you construct your daily. Like, I do feel the best thing a coach can do is conduct an elite practice and an elite day of instruction, of learning, of connecting, and your practices have to mimic a game. And if it happens in a game, you have to have a drill for it, whether it be an individual drill or a team drill or a unit drill. And I think the intensity, the energy that you bring to the table, the way you start your meeting, the detail of what you are teaching, all that matters. Every single meeting should be as if you're putting on a clinic, if you have an audience in front of you, because those details there are going to show. These games come down to the margins. Look at the margins in some of those games down the stretch, both for us and against us, right? I mean, they're razor thin, right? So yeah, we are like human nature, and the attack, the assault on it is absolutely relentless.
What do you think about some of the criticisms, not just you, but since I'm talking to you, that programs who get players from other ones get, whether coaching, Miami made this offer to this guy, then they got this guy. What do you think about all of that?
I think that instead of making noise, if there's any issues with anybody, there should be change and efforts towards change. But I think the First Amendment is probably the most abused privilege on the face of the earth, right? Freedom of speech. Am I wrong in saying that, right? Where you could recklessly speak about anything or anyone without any repercussions. That's how I feel about that, especially when, the things and the challenges that come with college football nowadays, like we're all exposed to different things. So you have to be more than ever on edge as it relates to protecting your program, your people, keeping everything in line. And trust me, because we have things come in our program 1 million miles per hour, but I make sure I always have my facts in line before anyone or anything is said about someone else. We don't talk about other programs, but like enough of the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like
Sort of a he who is without sin cast the first stone kind of thing.
to me, it's like shut up and work. You know what I mean? It's I don't talk about other programs. I don't really care much about what other programs do or how they do it. I care about the way we do things and what we do, and we take a lot of pride in that. And that's where it stands. That's where it ends. I don't. Football is not a debate, and football is not a beauty contest. You know, I don't believe in. At the end of the last year, I kind of had to get in one a little bit, right? Fighting for a spot when I felt it shouldn't have been. But we spend so much time talking about who played who, and we have to play this or play that, and they did this, they did that. Let's play the game. It's meant to be settled on the field, right? So let's get to the season so we get things rolling.
What should it look like? Structure,
Oh God,
college football in general.
another round of pick of the year.
Yeah. What would you like to see if you could change one thing? If you could implement one rule, standard, whatever that you think would be good for the entire sport, what would it be?
I don't think the sport was broken. I think we moved to some things that create a lot of murky waters. There's not enough clarity. Now that being said, there's a lot of great stuff too. I would start with simplicity. I would make all college football games on Saturday. Okay. I like to start with
Coming
that.
from a guy who's not playing on Saturday until the end of September.
Yeah,
Right?
and you know why? Because I do believe that Friday nights are sacred as it relates to high school ball. Thursday and Friday, because they don't have enough stadiums to play in summertime. So I would start with that. Whatever allows the best teams, whatever allows everyone to compete fairly and then advance at the end of the season, and taking it out of the hands of beauty contests as much as humanly possible. What does that mean? Does that mean more playoff teams, different parameters, a different selection process, the incorporation of the old Kansas City tiebreakers, overtime games to settle and jockeying for position? I'm not sure. I mean, there's a lot to take in, and every time you make a move, you're affected on the back end. The calendar has to be fixed first. You realize, like right now, we're recruiting the class of 27 because they don't sign until December, but we're also fully engaged with the class of 28, like full contact. It's a dead period now, so you can't be at your place, you can't be at theirs, but it's that's a lot of volume while still trying to develop your football team, of which nowadays you average anywhere between 32 and 42 new bodies every January or in the spring. Isn't that a lot? You know? And, staffs in college, the ratio from coach to player and now coach and analyst to player is still a lot smaller or a lot less than what it is in the NFL. So it's less manpower and less time to teach and develop, but more of a spread out type of workload as it relates to the recruiting, the development, your team, game planning. And it's all awesome. There's no complaints. I'll have the cafecito. I have the ultimate advantage.
Yep.
But I think the calendar would be the first item of order.
More ingredients in this delicious food we're having here, or more ingredients in the ACC tiebreaker?
I knew a trick question was coming. I knew it was coming. Nothing tops the ingredients here.
Okay.
That is for sure.
What's success for Miami this year? Double barrel question. It's something you shouldn't do as an interviewer, but we're having lunch. What's success at Miami this year? How good do you think you are right now?
Want to know, brother? That's success. You knew I was going to come out with that.
Mm-hmm.
You knew there was no way I was going to answer that.
I did. Yep.
Look, I'm a nobody from down the street. By the grace of God, got a shot to play this sport for a little bit and come back as a head coach here. So I don't make any predictions. I don't make any forecasts. Devote all my time to our program, its players, my family, wife, God. I really couldn't care less about anybody else or any of the other stuff that surrounds. Very much everything internally driven, internally, I would say, organized. There's nothing on the outside that plays any role or factor in what we do and how we do it. And I'm not judging. I'm not saying it's wrong or right. It's just what we do. So my answers are going to completely stink when it comes to questions like that. So I hope the good food will make up for it.
It already has.
Yeah, but you're like avoiding the carbs and the saturated fats.
Don't worry. It's just because in case I need to ask.
I'm just saying. Look, you had
a great answer.
Defending Coach Saban with the Cubans. Try not finishing that plate.
I'm going to,
and see if Hortensia over there is going to let you walk out with a full plate.
The best thing that happened earlier is I had a mouthful of this, and you had a really long answer, and I was like, "Please keep talking. Please keep talking." Until I finished chewing this up. You said earlier, I'm not even sure we had this on camera. You talked about how so much of your life was in probably a 6 square mile area right here. And you didn't just know the streets, you knew the cracks in the sidewalk. What does that mean?
I couldn't imagine growing up anywhere else. Man, growing up in Miami in the 80s, early 80s, as a young teenager, and what was on the networks back then? What were the movies out? Scarface?
Yeah.
Miami Vice, Sonny Crockett, Ricardo Tubbs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Calderon.
They were the guys. They were the role models. Everybody aspired to be as glamorous as those guys.
Playing for Coach.
It's tough.
Oh,
yeah.
The city was just starting to build up. Tremendous energy. Always front center of everything in the news, both good and bad. Coach Jimmy Johnson, Schnellenberger, and Coach Erickson. Come on, man. It doesn't get any better than that. When this job came open, I know the names that were trying to get in there and get involved. So I was honored when Miami said, "Hey, let's go bring that crazy Cuban back," so he could bring in his people and help us to take the step necessary to start playing the way Miami should be playing again, man. And there's a lot to that. I mean, so much to it. But yeah, if I go to church, I know the priest, I know the people that show up at church. I don't have time to do anything, I guess. But when I do have time to go do something, I run into an old coach, an old teammate, a classmate, new fans, old school fans. I mean, all of it, So, yeah, this means everything, man. It always has. And there's no, we don't pay that lip service here. Like, we go and we work and we go to a level which our goal is to go to a level that others can't fathom. But we're not here to brag about it or, boast about it. We're just here to shut our mouths and go to work, brother. That's all we know. That's all we want to do. We got here in 22. We stunk. We didn't say anything. Now we're starting to really, improve and progress. Now we got to say less, except when Coach Saban runs his mouth.
And you got to talk. Last thing here. I can't imagine, as I think back, when you made the decision to come here, looking at it now, hearing you talk about this place, I can't imagine you making any other decision. Yet, it was hard for you. As easy as it was also hard for you.
Very hard.
To come back.
It was. At the end of the day, we were given an opportunity by some awesome people, and we went during a time when things were done, a historic place that had had so much success. And when we went out west, it was, they were 4-8, a lot had to be done. And all of a sudden that shift, that rise, it was awesome. And I mean, Cuban from South Florida going out west, where everybody said, no. I remember showing my mom on the map. I showed her a map like this, and I say, Mama, what about Oregon? She goes, Oregon? What's Oregon? I go, Mama, see this? This is Miami down here in the corner. That's Oregon. She goes, I know, mijo. No. You know? So it was the other side of the world. And my dad always said, because we always had those things laid out, he said, you see, in a Scarface accent, cigar mouth, of course, he goes, see all those lines and all that? States, cities, counties, all that? It don't matter. Good people and hard work, that wins here, over there, anywhere, And if that's what, was in your heart, and this was way back, and we passed a while back, he said, dude, I always held strong to those words. And so we did it. And it was, we were part of it. Like, they took us and they were awesome with us. And there was one place. And at the end of the day, I owe Miami. And when Miami called, you start, and you look at the iPad, you're like, oh no, no, I like our roster over here better. I like that. Calvin Banks is coming in committed. T-Mac is committed coming in. But my brother, it's well documented, calls me up and he's dropping all kinds of F-bombs on me in English and in Spanish. I'm about to fight the guy, through the phone. And he finally goes, if your butt doesn't do it, well, who the bleep is? We go, man, you know what? You're right. It's like, it's gonna be painful, because of time invested. And because when I'm in, I'm all in. I don't, but yeah, man, we did it. And,
still doing it.
We're getting better. We're getting better. Long ways to go, but we've come a long way, and we're proud of it. But we're like the appetite and knowing that, like, we're just starting to see reaping some of the benefits of all that hard work. Our roster continues to get better. Our academics continue to blow out the water. This city, we really feel we're in the best city within the best city. Coral Gables, Florida, which you might buy a house beside Desmond here in a little bit, after you leave, but this city within the city of Miami and the way business is booming, how beautiful it is in the day and age also of NIL with business opportunities, life after football opportunities. I mean, you saw our place at the tiny private school. You've got 12 students in your classroom, and these are high-end students now, I mean, we're you're rubbing elbows with some of the highest end CEOs and presidents, vice presidents all over the world, all over the map. So we've got the ultimate setup. So we're extremely grateful. Again, we just want to shut up and work.
Mario,
You should make them.
this is fantastic. What do you want? What do you want?
This should be like John Candy in the Great Outdoors. This should be the 96 ouncer.
Just keep going.
He's got to eat it all, and the grizzle.
All right.
And he gets, no, I'm kidding. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No,
No, you don't have an upset stomach. You will.
No, I'm going to finish the meat. I'm finishing this meat, man.
Try to knock me off my feet, still standing with more money than I came with. Hot damn, took a loss, but I'm still up. Gambling man, betting all the chips that I got left.